So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recite the last few minutes of his speech, the part of the speech that I found most touching. So I'm going to start. We can do that. But if we do, I can tell you that in the next election, we'll be talking about some other distraction. And then another one, and then another one, and nothing will change. That is one option. Or at this moment, in this election, we can come together and say, not this time. This time, we want to talk about the crumbling schools that are stealing the future of black children, and white children, and Asian children, and Hispanic and Native children. This time, we want to reject the cynicism that tells us that these kids can't learn, that those kids that don't look like us are somebody else's problem. The children of America are not these kids. They are not our kids, and we will not let them fall behind in a 21st century economy. Not this time. This time, we want to talk about the lines in the emergency room and that they're filled with whites and blacks and Hispanics who do not have health care, who do not have the power on their own to overcome the special interests in Washington, but who can take them on if we do it together. This time, we want to talk about the shuttered mills that once provided a decent life for men and women of every race, and their homes for sale that once belonged to Americans from every religion, from every region, from every walk of life. This time, we want to talk about the fact that the real problem is not that someone who doesn't look like you might take your job, it's that the corporation you work for will ship it overseas and for nothing more than a profit. This time, we want to talk about the men and women of every color and creed who serve together and fight together and bleed together under the same proud flag. We want to talk about how to bring them home from a war that never should have been authorized and never should have been waged. And we want to talk about how we'll show our patriotism by caring for them and their families and giving them benefits that they have earned. I would not be running for president if I didn't believe with all my heart that this is what the vast majority of Americans want for this country. This union may never be perfect, but generation after generation has shown that it can always be perfected. And today, whenever I find myself feeling doubtful or cynical about this possibility, what gives me the most hope is the next generation. The young people whose attitudes and beliefs and openness to change have already made history in this election. There is one story in particular that I'd like to leave with you today. A story when I had the great honor of speaking on Dr. King's birthday at his home church, Ebenezer Baptist in Atlanta. There is a young 23-year-old white woman named Ashley Baya who organized for our campaign in Florence, South Carolina. She had been working to organize a mostly African-American community since the beginning of this campaign. And one day, when she was at a roundtable discussion with everyone, everyone went around telling their story and why they were there. And Ashley said that when she was 9 years old, her mother got cancer. And because she had to miss days of work, she was let go of her job and lost her health care. They had to file for bankruptcy, and that's when Ashley decided that she had to do something to help her mom. She knew that food was one of their most expensive costs. And so, Ashley convinced her mother that what she really liked and what she really wanted to eat more than anything else was mustard and relish sandwiches, because that was the cheapest way to eat. She did this for a year until her mom got better, and she told everyone at the roundtable that the reason she joined our campaign was so that she could help the millions of other children in the country who want and need to help their parents too. Now, Ashley might have a different choice. Perhaps somebody told her along the way that the source of her mother's problems were blacks who were on welfare and too lazy to work, or Hispanics who were coming into the country illegally. But she didn't. She sought out allies in her fight against injustice. Anyway, Ashley finishes her story and then goes around the room and asks everyone else why they're supporting the campaign. They all have different stories and reasons. Many bring up a specific issue. And finally, they come to this elderly black man who's been sitting there quietly the entire time. And Ashley asks him why he's there. And he does not bring up a specific issue. He does not say health care or the economy. He does not say education or the war. He does not say that he was there because of Barack Obama. He simply says to everyone in the room, I'm here because of Ashley. I'm here because of Ashley. By itself, that single moment of recognition between that young white girl and that old black man is not enough. It is not enough to give health care to the sick, or jobs to the jobless, or education to our children. But what it is where we start. It is where our union goes stronger. And so many generations have come to realize over the course of the 221 years since a band of patriots signed that document in Philadelphia, that is where perfection begins. That was the last part of Barack's speech. You know, and as he was speaking that, I nearly teared up. And you know, that's what we need in this world. And I believe we have someone coming on the show here in a moment that does something similar. So, you know, Barack Obama, God bless you. God bless Ashley. God bless this country.